right, I'm back. I'm back. All right, we're going to talk about this little guy right here. I want to talk to you a little bit about the respiratory system because this is a respiratory issue. This virus, the coronavirus, causes us to have respiratory problems. So we need to understand a little bit about how it gets from point A to point B. So, because we studied a little bit about, we talked a little bit about standard precautions and what are we protecting ourselves against. And we're protecting ourselves when it comes down to direct contact, airborne, droplets. All of these are ways that the virus can get from point A to point B. So let's just talk about it. Once you breathe it in, your nose is like, one of the first defenses that we have against it. So you have your nose and you have your eyes. You wonder why you got eyelashes? That's to help filter things out before it gets in your eye. And we blink. That is part of the body's normal immune response to try to protect itself. And the nose is no different. So inside the nose you have hair. But the hair is really cilia. Cilia is there to help filter things out before it gets to introduce into the body. And also you breathe it in through your mouth. And in the back, you notice you may get a sore throat sometimes. Well, it's because you have tonsils back there, and your tonsils have white blood cells. It's your lymph node, your lymphatic system. So the lymph nodes, they contain white blood cells, and white blood cells are there to fight off infection. So the body's normal response is to send more white blood cells in the lymphatic fluid. This is why you get the swelling. Once something that is foreign to the body is introduced and the body does not recognize it, it will send out its warriors to fight that thing off. So, so we're gonna follow it again. So we breathe it in through the nose, through the mouth, and it ends up back here in your pharynx. So you go your nasopharynx and your pharynx. So now, in the back of your throat, okay, you're going to breathe it in through the nose, through the pharynx, nasopharynx, and then it's going to go back into your larynx. And your larynx is just another word for saying voice box. So it's going to go to the voice box, which is the larynx, and then it's going to go into the trachea. So we're following, when we took that breath, we inhale, so we're tracing the oxygen that we breathed in along with whatever was in the air. We breathed it in, and now we went to the nasopharynx, the larynx, which is the voice box, and we know we got our tonsils back there too, and then it goes down to the trachea. Now the trachea, since we're following the oxygen that we just breathed in, the trachea is here. So this is the trachea, otherwise known as, the windpipe. So the trachea is going to go down to the bronchus. So the bronchus are these branches right here. And then you get down to the smaller parts, the bronchioles. Bronchioles are the smaller ones. So the oxygen we breathed in, it went through the nose, the mouth, nasopharynx, the larynx, the trachea, the bronchus, the bronchioles. And now attached to each one of these bronchioles are what they call the alveoli sacs. Now, the alveoli sacs, this is where the magic takes place at. So, now that alveoli sacs look something like this right here. See these little things? This right here again, this is the bronchioles. And now attached to them are each one of these little things that look like grapes. So the oxygen that we just breathed in when we inhale, it is going to go to the red side. See, this is the red side, and then you got the blue side. So this is the oxygen going in, and this is the oxygen uh, leaving out. I mean, the carbon dioxide leaving out. So the oxygen goes all the way down into the alveoli sacs, which is a one cell membrane. So these alveoli sacs are real thin. So the oxygen, in order for it to get out of the alveoli sacs and go into uh, the vessels right here, it has to diffusion has to take place. So the process of diffusion takes place. Then the oxygen goes into the. This is part of the cardiovascular system, and then it's on its way to the heart. And then once all of the systems use up all of the oxygen, what's left over as a waste or byproduct is the carbon dioxide. So when we exhale, it goes all the way back to the heart, and now it's going to come back to the respiratory system, and it's going to end up on the blue side. Then it's going to go back into the alveoli sacs. Then it's going to go back through the bronchioles, back to the bronchus, back to the trachea, back through the larynx, pharynx, and back through the nostrils and mouth. So that's sort of the way the respiratory system works. And once you get that virus in there, in your alveoli sacs, it causes mucus, and it causes those alveoli sacs to become filled with fluid. And when those alveoli sacs become full of fluid, then the process of diffusion, yeah, that's a problem. It doesn't take place like it should. So we're not getting enough oxygenated uh, blood, enough oxygen to the rest of the systems. And therefore, you could have problems with cardiac problems. So if you're not getting enough oxygen, you can have strokes. You can have all type of things. Your systems start to shut down. So this is Lemicide, aka Mr. Baskin. I'm sharing some information with you, and hopefully this helps you understand a little bit more about it. So once your body if it ever get virus inside the alveoli sacs, and you get the fluid in there, just like pneumonia, and the fluid builds up, the diffusion doesn't take place properly, so you get the fluid in there, and it causes problems. So I hope that you understand that this causes the body's homeostasis, which is the body's ability to be able to maintain balance. It causes it to be off. And one of those indicators, the main one, is your temperature starts to elevate. So make sure that if your temperature is off, your homeostasis is off, and your body's trying to burn the virus up, because you have the hypothalamus part of your brain, which is your heat regulator. So it regulates your body temperature. So because the virus is there, the body is telling itself, turn the heat up, so we can burn this virus out, and hopefully the body burns the virus out before it burns the brain out by the body's temperature getting elevated too high. And that's what happens sometimes. People don't make it, and the virus win. But hopefully we can get it where we're winning, and that's what we want to do. So this is your boy again, giving you some clues on how to maneuver through this situation. So stay healthy, keep your eyes on the prize. Later.